Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a flip through of the month of June in my A5 size bullet journal. My Leuchtturm notebook is in this Gedi Folio from Sojourner with this double pen clip by the Superior Labor Company. This is my July pen and Tombow, but in June I was using my favorite gel pen, the Uni-ball Signo in the 0.38, and this light blue Tombow, the 451. Moving to my index, I did actually add a few spreads this month. I've been doing some research on shoes, so I have notes on that, some date ideas, dance workouts, tutoring companies. I added a page for my planner palette, which is the marker or Tombow color that I choose each month, and a cycle tracker. So you'll see those when I do my flip through. I did also add to the brain dump section, so I just put a comma and the page that it's on. This used to just say brain dump, but I included brain dump wish lists, and I'll chat a little more about that when I get to that spread. The rest of the beginning section is the same, so I'll just go ahead and flip to June. I used the bullet journal pretty consistently in June. It was really functional for me. So we've got my decorative page, the vellum from Mrs. Brimbles' Etsy shop. Here is my monthly spread, my most important spread. This is my monthly overview for tasks, appointments. It's my content planning, my goal planning and tracking, daily habits. It's all here and it all works really well for me. So you can see I added in my appointments, colored them in once they were completed. I did my weekly tracking with some success, and my daily tracking was pretty good this month. I'm happy with how some of these habits are coming along. My monthly habits, I didn't make as much progress on as I'd hoped, so I just migrated some of them to the current month. I have my Calendex all filled out. I really enjoy filling this spread out, so I make sure to go back and complete it. I don't always do it every day. I try. Sometimes I get a couple of days behind, but because it's just very quick point form notes, I don't even know if you'd call them all point form. Some of these entries are one word, but it's enough to jog my memory, and then the daily pages will have more details. I fell off a little bit in using my social media content planner. I mean, that's a very generous term for that, but that is where I like to write lists of videos that are coming up and posts that I might like to share on Instagram. But if you saw my July flip through, I am trying something a little different this month, so hopefully that helps get me back into it consistently. And then we go right into my dailies. Nothing has changed here at all, guys. I love using the Tombow as my header, and this line is still really functional for me. I am so in the habit of just using my finger to track right down this line to see if I have any open tasks. I have my video notes just embedded right in here. I like to use these YouTube buttons from TheCoffeeMonsterzCo. It helps it jump off the page for me. We had our first swim in June. This is a sticker from the Style Planner. I had new washi storage. I like this particular spread because you can really see how some days are very, very short, and I have other days with more tasks and more memories. And both are totally fine, and why I like doing daily logging, because I don't have to set this up ahead of time. I just go with whatever the day brings, or more likely whatever my mood is. Here are the barefoot notes. So I just was tracing my foot for measurement and trying to keep all of that in one place. Some longer notes. I've started trying to use some more stickers in here because I have so many. I did add a little sticker pouch in the back, which I will show you. But these are both from PlannerMonkeyCo. She has these wonderful tiny minimal lines that I love. So my brother's birthday, I had a phone call. More video notes, that was a long one. And this is where I added a brain dump page. So I do have a spread in the front of this that is for a wish list, and that's a more intentional wish list when I've really thought about a purchase and at least mentally committed to buying it. A brain dump wish list for me is just everything I've seen lately that I want to buy, and just writing it down usually gets it out of my head and I can revisit and decide later if it's a purchase I actually want or need to make. If you can see this list, a lot of this is not needs. There's sticker shops. It's just stuff that I think of, that I love, that I want, and it's in here, and that makes me feel better because sometimes I think what happens is something sticks in my mind because I'm worried I'm going to forget about it, and I just keep thinking about it even though I know it might not be the right time for me to buy it, or I might not have room in my budget, or whatever the reason. So I feel kind of a sense of security, maybe, just having it in here, and it allows me to let go of it a little bit. And the rest is just brain dump notes. I split this page because I knew I wouldn't have enough. Hopefully I wouldn't have enough of a wish list to have an entire spread by itself. And this was perfect, actually. I didn't need any more brain dump pages in June. It was also really fun to practice my hand lettering like that, and I like how that spread turned out. More dailies, the TheCoffeeMonsterzCo Father's Day sticker. When I was doing my Stationery Stockpile Challenge video for June, I had asked if anyone had questions for me, so I wrote those down in here so that I had them at hand. Sometimes when I have an appointment, I will go ahead and just jot notes down right in here, so that's why it's in red. I am using another sticker from PlannerMonkeyCo. I was setting up my July bullet journal, so that's just a little planner sticker. I shared this spread on Instagram, and I'm really happy with how this turned out as well. I called this one Time Together. Once upon a time, I might have called it Date Night or Date Activities, but since things are still slowly opening up here in Ontario, I thought I would call it Time Together. So the idea is to make two lists, one a list of activities that Paul and I can do together, and one a list of places that we can safely go. This will likely be local parks, but I didn't want to write those in and have to cover them up, so I just put in a cooperative board game that we enjoy playing together. I went ahead and outlined the page with the, bullet side of the Tombow just to add a little something, and added this cute sticker from OnceMoreWithLove. And then on this side of the page, I wrote down some dance workouts, and I left a space for tutoring options. I want to see if there are any companies that have kind of the structure and flexibility that I'm looking for in case I also want to do any tutoring this summer. I added this work sticker from Rise and Plan, and this is from TheCoffeeMonsterzCo. I've been reading the book Burnout by Emily and Amelia Nagoski. I actually have it on hand here. I have been reading it over quite a long period of time, but that's okay. And it really talks about completing the stress cycle. And one of the things that it talks about, I'm sure will come as no surprise, but they talk about the importance of exercise and how that lets your body know that it's no longer in danger and can help it complete the stress cycle. Honestly, guys, for me, that has been the biggest motivator ever to do any sort of consistent movement. I have tried to follow plans in the past, but they have been motivated more by, I'll be honest, more by weight loss or diet, and that just never resonated with me and never stuck. So I found some dance workouts that I have been loving. I wrote a list for myself in case I wanted a variety, but the only ones I have tried so far are Emily's at MK Fit, and they're wonderful, they're hilarious, they keep my mind busy, and they definitely get my heart pumping, so I have loved doing them, and I've never been able to say that before about exercise or movement, so I'm happy to have this spread in here. I do like having options if I do want something a little bit different, and hopefully I'll add to this as I do more research. And that brings us to the end of the month already. Wow, that was faster than I expected. So this was just the last few days. We were preparing to get out of the city for a little while. This was kind of the last post-it I had jotted to myself with things I needed to grab the morning we left. So I left that in here. This ended up being a blank page, so I had this cut out for a collage from a Real Simple magazine. I just put it right in here, complete with the sleeping dog, the bookshelves. I like how the cream background of these pages matched the Leuchtturm. And the last thing in this month are those 2 new spreads that I added. I went ahead and set up the planner palette and my cycle tracker on these facing pages, and I modeled them after the trackers I did at the beginning and my future log setup. So I have the same type of monthly headers here. I used the Tombow N79 for that. And I've just done a swatch of the color and written the number below so that I can reference it. And I didn't think I would need a cycle tracker in this notebook because I do have it in another ring setup, but I realized that this is the only notebook I am consistently in, and it would be really helpful for me to have that information with me. So I did do a simple tracker like the other ones, so the months, the days, and the way I track is just the days that I have my period. The first day I like to write how many days it is in between, just so I can see how regular it is. And I've gone ahead and tabbed this page with a Post-it brand tab so that I can refer to it as necessary. The next time I do set up a fresh bullet journal, this will go in the front with my core trackers. This one probably will too if I end up liking it and referring to it for the rest of the year. After that, we move right into July. The other thing I mentioned that I did add was this little sticker album at the back. So I actually just have it tucked into the Leuchtturm pocket. I didn't want to stretch this leather out any more than necessary. You can see here, this is where the elastic from the Leuchtturm is. It's kind of making some marks here. That's okay. But back to this. So this is one of the Hobonichi accessories. I'm not sure what they're called. The card file maybe. So I've gone ahead and just put in some of the minis that I use all the time. So the first page is perfect actually because it's a full sheet and the rest are all these, I guess, credit card size almost. So this is the style planner, bathing suits I talked about, and the rest are PlannerMonkeyCo. So I could double it up, put it back to back. You can only access it from the one side. But right now, I think I'm good with what I have in here. I don't want this to be too bulky, so I tried to be intentional about choosing ones that I would get a lot of use out of, like icons that I know I commonly use. And then I have one more, I guess, large pocket at the back. So I just split it in half like this and tuck it in, and I find that that has added the least amount of bulk. And again, it's really handy to have in here. I really enjoy doing these monthly flip throughs because it's nice to share with you guys what's been working. And it also reminds me that even though I'm pretty consistent, nothing is maybe new or flashy, this is so functional for me. And the index helps me access all of these embedded notes. And I'm really enjoying this A5 size. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.